Hey, how y'all doing? Um, Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Poet CG. um, First off, I want to start by saying, you know, officially 23. Uh, 23 like Jordan. Um, when I'm trying to, you know, my year, my new year started, you know, started, um, just started. I guess you could say, since this is the 26th right now, you could say that it started yesterday. My new year started yesterday. And it's interesting to me. Because, like, I'm getting up there. I'm still pretty young. You know, I'm also getting up there in age. So, you know, when you're at a certain spot, when you're at a certain spot for a long time and you get to a certain age, then you know, you start to think a little bit differently, and you start to, change your mindset. You'd have to change your mindset because, you can't be the same person every year. You can't be the same person every day. You got to be adapting as you get older. You know, you got to keep on getting better and better. But I know that there's people that are the same every year, every day, every second. You know, no changing them. Um, but like, I think it really comes down to just being honest. And I'll get more into that when I read you my poems and stuff. So, you know, without further ado, let me get into it. I don't know how long this is gonna take. All the shit I'm going through is giving me a headache. It hurts me so much that I get the shakes. But it's all in my head. I know that people can be fake. I happen to make one little mistake. All they told me to do was go jump in a lake. Or maybe they told me to go take a hike. I'd rather do that, and I'll just take my bike. They were so quick to get on my head. They let their emotions have them misled. Really going off the he said, she said, not coming to me as if I'm on meds. Hope y'all enjoyed that. You know, it was really, it was really coming from a long time ago. It wasn't even like recently. It was a long time ago when I wrote this and when I was thinking these things. But when I come into the mind frame of what I was thinking, I was in a space where a lot of people like to just lie on me and, you know, um, and say stuff about me behind my back, or or it was just it was just some funny stuff going on behind the scenes, and it was a space that just I had to get away from you. Like, I couldn't be in that space because it was toxic, and detrimental to, what I was trying to do, So like, I was in areas where it probably didn't match me as a person, or it just didn't fit who I was. And when you're in a space where, you know, you relate to a certain extent, but your mindset, your mentality may be different. Or you may think like, psh, where like where you're around like certain folks of your skin color that might not match your energy, it might not match your vibe, and you're thinking like, what am I doing here? But at the same time, you're like, it's something to learn from. It's something to, like, you're gaining experience with every person that you come in contact with. You're learning from them, whether you have something in common with them or not. And even if you feel like, I don't want to say your connections are forced, but like, where you feel like it's like, if it wasn't for this, we probably wouldn't be like talking, I guess, because um because people that I vibe with, like, they're like, I could already tell their vibe and then my vibe, like, our vibes match instantly, and then you can tell when when people match your vibe, and when you can tell when they match your vibe, because it's like, it's just natural energy, this natural aura that comes through, that flows through both of you, and it's just like, it's easy to talk to them off the bat. Like, growing up, it was hard for me to do that, and it still is, though. I mean, because when I was younger, I used to not really trust people. Like, people like to say, like, don't, like be kind to strangers and stuff, but that's not, no. Like, that was my, like, gut instinct. That was my, that was my, uh, that was my intuition telling me that this person might not be safe for me, or there's just like, the energy is just not there. The vibration is just not, it's not high enough. It's something about them that just seems off. And um and my that was how I was. And my uncle told my mother not to take that away from me as a child, because you know um that's something that you're not really, you don't necessarily learn that. That's just something that you have. That's something that's your instincts, your gut instincts, just natural instincts that you have, just that intuition that you have. You can't really gain. My bad. You can't really gain that. That's not something you can gain, because you can't gain gut feeling, that gut feeling, like, that's already inside of you. And some people try to take that away from you, and then you become friendly to everybody. And you know that's why certain kids ended up, that's why, if I'm gonna be honest, That's why kids ended up. That's why kids get abducted. That's why they, get lost or whatever, because they're too trusting. I don't even want to. I don't even want to speak on situations that are my business, but that's why that is, because you know parents try to strip that intuition away, or that instinct away. To be friendly to everybody. You don't have to be friendly to everybody, or you don't have to. Well, you don't have to be trusting to everybody. You could be cordial, kind to everybody, but you don't have to be trusting to everybody. And they have them being trusting to everybody, and that's not safe. And like I said, my uncle told my mother not to take that away from me, and I'm glad that she didn't, because I've had that throughout my whole entire life. And it's kept me from getting in situations. It's kept me out of situations that could have been bad for me. Had like um, certain environment, um, bad influences that I've had, or just certain situations that I shouldn't have been, that I, you know, shouldn't be in, that I, if I didn't have that instinct, I would get into, and I'd probably get in trouble, and I'd probably be in, in more trouble than I may realize at the time. But I feel like that comes from just experiences, and just it comes from experiences and you know, just trusting your own gut. Cause even like I said, even as a child, I used to be like, when strangers would come around, I used to be like, like, back up, back up, back up. I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't know you. Back up. And they used to laugh at that. They used to laugh at that because, like, he wasn't very, he wasn't very trusting of people. And yeah, and I will say I'm not distrusting of people like that. Well, I am to a certain extent, but not as much as I was as a child. Like, um, and people are also going to bring astrology into it and say that because I'm a Pisces, that this and that, because it's not in my control, blah blah blah. I don't believe in that stuff. I don't believe in that. That doesn't like define me. But I think that once you know, uh, develop a certain sense of awareness, and you know, uh, develop a certain sense of when to get away from things, because intuition is something that you're born with, but you can gain book smarts, street smarts, whatever smarts it is. You can gain that through experiences. Intuition is given, but certain smarts and sense, that's earned. That's earned through experience. And I'm not gonna say that I have that I'm fully that I'm full in both of those things, but I do have a mixture of both of those things. In some extent, it's to 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 an extent. Yes, I do. Um, I mean, the people I was around, and this and that, the people I was around, instilled it in me. Book and street, it was instilled in me, and made me into the person I am today. And I usually go with my gut instinct. If I'm feeling uncomfortable, y- you know, um, more times than not, I probably won't go for it. But at the same time, I do have to get out of my comfort zone. And obviously, as I've grown, from a child to adult to the 23-year-old man that you're looking at right here in this video, I've, developed more and more. I've like grown more and more, got out of my comfort zone more and more. And I mean that should be most people like in life. That's how it is. If you don't adapt, if you don't get out of your comfort zone, you're not gonna go anywhere. And if you just like if people don't if people are gonna talk about you and say stuff behind your back and have issue without telling you, that's on them. Like you can't control what they think in their minds, but you can control what you think about them and what you think about yourself. That's what you can control. And it definitely takes time. It takes time to get out of the space of whew, it takes time to get out of the space um of self-doubt. And through experience and growth and learning, it becomes easier and easier you know to eliminate your self-doubt. And when you have a focus, a motivation, not just those two, but when you have a reason why you're doing the things that you're doing, and the discipline to keep on going regardless, nothing's impossible. The discipline, the work ethic, nothing's impossible. And the sooner you realize it, the better life will be for you. I know, me saying this, you know, I'm saying this to me, myself, and I also, because I also have self doubt, and I also somewhat struggle with my discipline and work ethic, which you know are obviously areas of improvement, and those are areas in which I feel that I will be better at. And I feel like it's easy to just say that you will and not do it than actually saying you will and actually doing it. It's really tough to keep going. It's tough to keep going sometimes, but you know, when you do things like that are tough to do, that most people won't do, then you'll go to places where most people can't even think of. That's the only way you're going to be able to separate yourself. I was about to say limit yourself. That'd be the exact opposite. That's the only way you're going to be able to separate yourself, is if you do things that are different from everybody else. When you do the things that nobody else does, then how could you be like everybody else? There's no way. And it's weird because it's one of those things that you just have to know you're doing the right thing, even if it feels like you just want to give up or you just want to stop. You just don't want to do it anymore. You still got to keep going. You still got to keep staying strong. You still, I'm in the process of doing that myself because I'm like, there's some days where I'm just like, I don't want to get up and I don't want to get up and go to class. I don't want to get up and do this homework that's due at midnight. I don't want to get up and go to this meeting for a program I'm in. I don't want to wake up early and do this. Sometimes I have those moments, but that's all in the process. Like that's normal. You get better at it the more that you stay focused and disciplined. And that's for me. That's from you to me. Self. Um and it goes to everybody, to be honest. So, you know, if I didn't make it clear already, but just because the situation you're trying to make happen is bigger than you. You just got to think that it's bigger than you. So it's bigger than the pain that you're going through right now. It's bigger than the stress that you're experiencing. It's bigger than the sadness, the loneliness, the boredom, the stress. It's the lack of importance. It's bigger than all of that. You gotta just think that you're going through all of this so that the future you could be happy and not have to go through this later. When I look back, in my life, I want to be able to say that I made 10-year-old me or 15-year-old me or 20-year-old me or 23-year-old me. I want to be able to say that I made them proud. And likewise, I want to look into the future and see that future me is doing everything that I dreamed of, while current me is struggling through some things. I want to be able to do all of this. I want to be able to see. I want to be able to I want to be able to see that maybe 30-year-old or 35-year-old me is doing everything that he dreamed I would be doing. That he's in a wonderful home, that his mother is, enjoying life, is happy, is smiling, is not down, that his family is taken care of, you know. Everything that he dreamed of came true. I'll have another video up in, a few days. I have one more video up before March comes. So, um, you guys stay tuned on that and, stay strong. I know it's tough out here, but we're going to get through this together. And, I promise you it will all work out. It will, be everything that you dreamed of when this is all said and done. You know, I hope y'all have a good day and a good night. I'm gonna take what a friend of mine usually does in his videos. If you see this, you know who you are. I hope y'all have a great day. All right, peace.